Hey friends, happy Sunday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. I've got like 3 new recipes to share with you this week. The other 4 are like super simple things that I didn't even like show the process of me cooking. It's either stuff I've made before or like really quick and simple stuff. We started off the week with really quick and simple stuff and then ended with some more like recipe style things that I am excited to share with you. 2 of them were completely brand new and they were both delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Friday, I kept things simple and made a family favorite because this was the day that we all went grocery shopping, and I know that this is a favorite. It is like a creamy chicken and broccoli spinach rice. I found this recipe originally on TikTok and I've made it quite a few times now. My family requests it by the name Mr. Glass's favorite food because my daughter Lily has a character that she does on her phone with this filter, and the first time I ever made this she was being Mr. Glass, and Mr. Glass really enjoyed the dinner, and it makes me laugh every time I think about it. But yeah, this is delicious. It's a one-pot meal. It's filling. It's got cottage cheese in there for some extra protein, and I highly recommend checking the link down below and seeing one of those videos where I make it step by step. Saturday was a busy day. The kids had karate class in the morning, and then in the afternoon they had karate belt testing. They have moved up to advanced brown belts, and I knew we were going to be out all afternoon, so I knew I wanted a quick and easy dinner. So I made some hot dogs in the air fryer and then warmed up a can of chili, and we had chili dogs and tater tots. Sunday afternoon, we went to a pizza place and celebrated Lily and my father-in-law's birthdays with some family, and then we spent the afternoon playing Pokemon. So I knew I'd want another quick and easy dinner, so we did BLTs. All I had to do was come home and cook up some bacon and made for a simple dinner, and then the kids were sent home with some extra cupcakes, so they had those with their dinner as well. We had some cucumbers and some chips and dip with it as well. And my family, I'm the only one who eats an actual BLT. My kids, one of them likes lettuce, one of them likes tomato, and then they also like cheese on it. So Elijah's got a bacon, lettuce, and cheese sandwich, and Lily's got a bacon, tomato, and cheese sandwich. And then Andy eats a BLT, but also with cheese. And for our last quick and easy meal of the week, we had spaghetti. This was our first night getting back to our routine. Andy had been off every other day for the last week, and so I made spaghetti as a simple thing to help get us back on our routine of doing school, getting the house all picked up and whatnot. Tuesday night, I made lemon chicken pasta toss. This recipe comes from my Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. I will have that link down below, as well as a link to the recipe. I think it's on their website. I've made this recipe for years. I absolutely love it. It's like a pasta dish, but it's light, very light sauce because it's just like a lemony sauce, and it's perfect for like spring and summer and the warmer weather. So I'm starting off with some chicken. I'm using a little bit over a pound of chicken, so I'm going to end up doubling the sauce and the amount of pasta. You're not going to see me do it, but I am going to bring some salted water to a boil and cook up 1 box of penne pasta. And here I've got my chicken in a bowl, and I'm just going to season it with some salt and pepper, and then I'm going to sprinkle on about 2 tablespoons of flour just to get that chicken coated really well. I ended up adding a little bit more flour because I felt like it was not coated perfectly, so probably about another tablespoon because I did have a little bit more chicken than the recipe called for. Then in a large skillet over medium heat, I am heating up about a tablespoon of olive oil, and once that's hot, I'm adding in my diced chicken, spreading it out pretty evenly so it's not in like a big clump, and then just letting that cook for a couple minutes on that side, and then I'll go in and stir it around. You just want to make sure it gets nice and golden brown on all sides and cooked through. Then you can remove the chicken from the pan, add in about another tablespoon of olive oil, And then I am adding in some minced garlic. I did probably about 4 cloves, which is definitely more than the recipe calls for. And then about half of a diced onion. The recipe calls for chopped shallot, but I'm not usually at a grocery store that sells shallot. That's not something Aldi has. So usually I just substitute it for onion. And I'm just going to cook this up for a couple of minutes until the onion gets tender and the garlic gets fragrant. Then we're going to go ahead and add in our broth and lemon juice and some salt and pepper. I am using the Knorr chicken bouillon, so I did not end up adding any extra salt at this point, just some pepper. So I used 1.5 cups of water and then 1.5 teaspoons of the Knorr chicken bouillon, some pepper, and then 6 tablespoons of lemon juice. And you only need that much if you're doubling the sauce like me. The original recipe will be linked down below. And we're going to cook that uncovered for about 5 minutes. Just let it simmer and it's going to start to reduce. Once it has reduced, then we're going to add back in our chicken and some parsley. And then I just let this sit over a low heat until my pasta was done cooking. And then once my pasta was done, I tossed that in along with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese and a little bit more parsley. And then this was ready to serve. You could do this with a salad or whatever you want on the side. Even like some garlic bread would be good. But I was not feeling like making anything else this night. And this is just so good. It's like light and lemony, and it's just like a really refreshing pasta dish. And I absolutely love it. As I said, I've been making it for years. I've had the cookbook that it's in since I was 17. My dad bought it for me, and I've been making it probably since around then, or like when I was like 18 when I moved out. And it's definitely a favorite. Wednesday night, I made this new recipe for like a 1-pot hamburger helper enchilada pasta thing. I found this on the Lemonade app, so I will have that link down below. Starting off with a pound of ground beef here. I've seasoned it with some taco seasoning, some garlic powder, and onion powder. For some reason, my camera was being like really blurry when I like filmed me putting on the seasonings, so I didn't get a clip of that because it was just really hard to see. But I just cooked that up. Used my little meat chopper, got it all browned up, and then I'm going to be adding in some enchilada sauce. I used 2 cans of mild enchilada sauce, 2 cups of shell pasta, 1 cup of water and some beef bouillon, or you could just use beef broth, 1 cup of milk, and then a little bit more garlic powder and onion powder. I gave that a good mix and then brought that to a boil. Once it came to a boil, I reduced the heat down to like a medium low and put a lid on this and let this continue to cook for about 15 minutes until that pasta was done. The original recipe said like 12 minutes, but for me it took around 15, maybe a little bit longer. You just want to cook it until your noodles are tender, so you can take the lid off towards the end, check your pasta. If it's not done, put the lid back on, let it continue cooking. Then all you have to do is add in some cheese. I wanted some cilantro with this as well, but all of the cilantro at the store looked gross. So we just put some cheese in here, let it get all nice and melty, and then serve this up. This was delicious. I will make this again. I love me some 1-pot meals. Thursday, I tried this new recipe for some fried cube steak bites. I've had this on the meal plan for probably like 3 weeks now, and I'm just getting around to making it, and it was so good. So I'm starting off here with some cube steak, and I'm just taking my kitchen scissors and cutting the cube steak into bite-sized pieces. Then I season that meat all over with some salt and pepper. In a large bowl, I'm going to mix together 1 cup of flour, some Cajun seasoning, some garlic powder, some onion powder, and a little bit of salt and pepper. And this is going to be our breading. If you can't see the seasoning in the flour, you want to add some more. You want to really be able to see that color. And then in another bowl, I'm adding 1 egg, about a cup of milk, and a dash of hot sauce, and whisking that together. We are going to take our cube steak, we're going to dip it in the flour, then in the egg milk mixture, then back in the flour, and then set it on a separate plate. And we're just going to repeat this until all of our meat is coated. In a large skillet, I heated up probably about 1 to 1.5 inches of oil, and then once that was hot, I added in my cube steak. I did have to do this in batches. We're going to cook it for about 6 minutes total. I did 3 minutes and then flipped it, and then did about another 3 minutes till it was nice and golden brown and fully cooked through. And then you can just remove it from the pan. I set it on some paper towels to drain while I can continue to cook the rest of the batches. I served this with some mashed potatoes that I made in my Instant Pot, some white gravy, and some corn, and it was so good. Everybody loved it. I would definitely make this again. The original recipe that I found for this was on TikTok, and she kind of served it more like chicken tenders, but like steak tenders instead, with like mac and cheese and just ketchup on the side for dipping. And I thought that was a really good idea, maybe better for like these warmer summer months to kind of serve it like chicken tenders. But I wanted this. It was very comforting, very good meal. And that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I hope you got some new meal ideas. Let me know if you plan on trying any of the recipes that I shared down below in the comments, and leave me a smiley face emoji down there as well to let me know that you made it here all the way to the end. I hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend, a great Memorial Day weekend, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!